Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? We're back again with another daily Casper crypto live stream, and we have just received some very interesting news. Very interesting. Looks like another new tier 1 exchange has just showcased for the first time interest in scooping up and listing Casper. We got that and much more to cover in today's stream. Also, Ethereum have just announced one of their most significant upgrades to date, or since the shift, the merge from proof of work to proof of stake. However, this upgrade, while significant for them to get more institutionalized adoption, it has also inherently made them a lot more centralized, which is, well, terrible, in my belief. Completely terrible. That being said, we'll get into all of that in today's stream. We also are going to be covering live, real time, the FOMC meeting. The press conference will be taking place in about 25 minutes or so, and the actual announcement of what the Fed's going to basically be talking about will also be coming out any minute now, so we'll be talking about that as well. So if you enjoy this content, as always, and want to find out more real time what's happening in this space, check out the free Discord server. And equally, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Welcome back once again to the channel. Tony, my man, first, welcome back, brother. Hope you're doing very, very well. And you too, Sergey, my man. Yo to you too. Lam, brother, welcome back to the channel. You too, and Twigs, welcome back, my man. Yo to you too. Hello, Didi, my man. Wait, you are early. Yes, Crypt Tony. I made an announcement in the Discord server, the free Discord public community, that because of the Arsenal PSG game taking place in an hour from now, I know people in this community do also want to watch that game, so I figured, and equally I do as well. I want to see Arsenal lose, so I was like, I'll bring it forward by an hour. Also, then talking about the FOMC meeting at the same time. Kill two birds with one stone, and then, let everyone to go enjoy their time watching the football or soccer, wherever you're from, although it is called football. Welcome back, Sticky, my man. Who? Binance? No, it's not Binance. We'll get into that in a moment, but it's crypto.com. Which is very, very interesting. Brother, why don't you schedule your live streams on YouTube so everyone gets notifications 30 minutes before? I should do that. I do tend to schedule them beforehand, but sometimes, I literally was just recording a video and I can't schedule the live stream and record at the same time, or at least not all the time. But I should do that. It's a good idea. I'll make more of an effort to try and schedule it beforehand as well, give people some time to actually be prepared for when the live is going to be happening. But I do at least try to make the announcements in my Discord server so people can know that way at least. But that being said, before I get into more of the pleasantries and, welcome everyone to the channel. Again, YouTube Buffalo Thurman, yo to you too. Let's get into the content. So you can see here I made a post on my Twitter yesterday, which if you don't know, again, you can follow me on Twitter. The link to join and check that out is down in the description. Also on my homepage as well, my Twitter app there. We can see here I posted yesterday, it is finally happening. Crypto.com is gearing up to list Casper. Tier 1 listings are going to start flooding into the fastest proof of work in existence. You can see on the page here, select Casper from the list of assets. Now, we can click on the link here, and it brings us to this page right here, Crypto.com. Website that clearly states how to buy Casper. And people were asking me, when did the website come out? Is it true? Is it authentic? I cannot attest whether it's been built by bots or by someone who actually works for Crypto.com, but what I can attest to is when this page was created. If you use a website called Wayback Machine, the Internet Archive, it lets you know, if you paste in the URL, when exactly that website was created and also how many times it's been edited. And we can see here the only iteration was on May 6th. It's the only time we received any form of editing or creation of this page. So that proves, therefore, that yesterday, the first time that this website was created. So this is actually the first time. It was not, a few years old like some other cases have been. It actually was only created yesterday. The first time ever that Crypto.com has shown its interest in how to list Casper. It goes through all the pleasantries like what Casper is, decentralized blockchain platform, designed for high speed and scalability with proof of work, a ghost tag and whatnot. Talks about a step-by-step on how to buy Casper with a bank transfer, with a credit card, or with a Apple or Google Pay. It's even got that here. And equally got the insights into Casper, how to store crypto, like with cold wallets or hardware wallets and whatnot. and equally how to sell Casper as well. So it's got all the information there you need to know effectively on how to best scoop up some Casper, which is very, very interesting. But for those who have used this exchange, which I do also occasionally use this exchange, Casper's not actually on there, which is weird. If you type it into AI, go onto Google and just type in, is Casper listed on crypto.com? It says yes. It says yes, it's available for purchase and trading, but if you go on the actual exchange, the platform, it's not there. Furthermore, shout out to members of my community as well, also showcase proof here on the crypto.com website, their sort of coin market cap. They showcase here that Casper is there in the top 50 assets, but it's not available to trade. So it has acknowledged Casper, it's recognized Casper, they've even showcased their desire seemingly on how to buy it on crypto.com, but it's actually not available just yet. Now for me, it's coming out just 2 days after, well actually technically it came out 1 day after Crescendo, and equally with what is, coming out of Casper very, very soon, I personally, while again not being emotional, just being logical, for me these tier 1s will list Casper. I'm taking this as potentially they are just giving their community members an advance warning that they're going to start contemplating and listing Casper very, very soon. Because again, the proof is in the pudding. It's literally right here. The links to this is already available in my free Discord server, and equally you can just check out one of my most recent posts on Twitter and you can find the link right there as well. If you go fact check it for yourself, it's literally there. And again, this website showcases right here when the website was first created. A snapshot here, which was last night, 6th of May. So why they've done this but still not listed Casper is anybody's guess. I would like to believe they're about to gear up. Right now we can see Casper's not really moving right now. The same with the rest of crypto. I think it's a bit of a bearish anticipation for the incoming FOMC meeting in just a few minutes time. So the markets aren't really moving right now. Casper is still trading within this wedge right now, down 0.14%, valued at 9.03 cents on the daily time frame. And when we get the announcements during this stream, we may see Casper break below it, which if it does, I think we'll see Casper come back down to 8 cents, or maybe it'll stay consolidating in between the zone here. Maybe even break above. Again, we have to wait and see what Jerome Powell announced. If he's dovish, that's good. If it's hawkish, that will be bad. We'll have to take that into account. But what we are seeing right now is more and more interest for Casper by big tier 1s. Crypto.com is not a small exchange. It's one of the biggest exchanges in America. Similarly to the likes of Kraken. Got 1.8, almost 1.9 billion 24-hour trading volume with almost 1 million weekly visits. So it's quite a very notable exchange. Got more volume than Kraken. Not many visits, but it's got a lot of capital flowing through it. And they're good exchanges. One that actually you can use in the UK as well. I actually do like Crypto.com. So that is a big deal if that is the case. When? Hopefully in due time we'll find out. But, the last time we saw something like this, it came from OKX. And then they also removed the website very, very quickly. They made a post about it, and within the next 24 hours, that website was down. But this website has been up. It's still up. Hopefully it'll stay up. And that will just continue to probably drive some more FOMO that they are contemplating if and when to list Casper. With 10 BPS being out of the way, that hassle of going through the migration hard fork is lesser now. Because I haven't got to do it all themselves. You can just list Casper effectively and do it all beforehand. So maybe they'll wait for 10 BPS, and now that it's done, they're ready to list Casper. People are now contemplating that this number 2 wallet actually was Crypto.com the whole time. I'm still personally believing it's Binance, but again, who knows? They have got 725 million Casper, $65.8 million worth of Casper. They did do a test transaction today as well, as we can see, receiving 0.365 Casper. After they sent out a massive transaction back and forth. I ended up getting a little bit extra as well. So again, what's happening right now? What's going on? We'll have to wait and see. But it is once more very interesting to note. That's the first time Crypto.com's ever showcased interest in Casper. We know Binance have connections, Coinbase have connections, OKX have connections. This is the first time Crypto.com showcased any interest. So maybe this will be the beginning and therefore the end. Although looking at it right now, I'm not sure if there will be a stablecoin pair. I hope so. Last time, obviously Kraken has got Casper. They do not have a stablecoin pair, hence why Kraken's got the lowest volume. For big exchanges, got the lowest volume at 2.59%, 1.6 million. Smaller than Bitget and bit by bit, because, you know, while they are big exchanges as well, they've got the stablecoin pair. So hopefully if Crypto.com does this Casper, it will be an actual stablecoin pair. Well, that's very interesting as well. That's the first time I've seen that on my thing. I remember people telling me as well that you could have these here and actually link to Binance. I don't have it for Binance, of course, because Binance is banned in the UK, but I have it for eToro and Nexo here. But the buy button here for me is Casper as well. I just realized that right now. But yeah, I mean, either way, that's interesting and definitely something that is, you know, worth highlighting once more. Will we get a Binance or will we get a Crypto.com listing, you know, within the next week? Don't know. We have no idea. It's still, once more, a lot of uncertainty, and it's very frustrating, I imagine, as a holder, seeing all of these leaks and, dare I say, confirmation and interest from tier ones without actually issuing the listing. And maybe it's end up just being a futures and not a spot listing for Crypto.com. We don't know yet. We're still being left in the dark, but the fact they have now got a website about it that was created just yesterday is better than having no interest whatsoever. Beforehand, we had no idea. So it does give me some optimism, and once more just ignite my belief that Casper, with what's coming out for it, big tier ones are going to start flowing in very, very quickly. So there's a lot more to look forward to in that regard as well. So again, it's all in all good news, I'd like to say. And then we've got other stuff as well. You know, the fact that, you know, we're seeing open interest is rising alongside the positive funding rates for Casper, indicating growing bullish sentiment in the market. Trades should remain cautious because the FOMC meeting, you know, is coming out in about 15 minutes or so, the announcement about it. But right now we're seeing growing interest across the board for markets and crypto in particular. So we'll see, hopefully, that correlate into some price movement in the coming. I'm expecting maybe some pullbacks and consolidation for the next couple of days or so, and then going into, you know, following inflation data, second half of May, I'm personally expecting some more bullish momentum, but again, time will tell. My long is still profits. Hey, good to hear, SJ, my man. Hopefully it stays that way and you continue making that bag. Hi from France. Welcome back, my brother. Hope you're doing very, very well. Thanks for all your videos. You're welcome, my man. Hopefully you enjoy all the content and having a great day so far. Casper, $20, 2025, 2026. I would be very surprised if Casper reaches $20, because that would be a $520 billion market cap, which is more than Ethereum is. And even Ethereum at all-time highs. Ethereum at all-time highs, market cap-wise, is 540 billion. So it's slightly less than Ethereum's all-time highs. I love Casper, but for Casper to reach market caps similar to this level up here in Ethereum's peak last cycle, I find a bit much. A bit much, to put it politely. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe Casper shocks everybody this cycle. Yeah, sweet indeed. Can you schedule while recording? It's a separate thing outside OBS. It's on YouTube Studio. Okay, I could try doing it. I normally just go through OBS to do everything because it's just easier, but I'm pretty sure I can schedule on YouTube Studio and then just connect OBS to it later on. So I'll try and doing that from this point forwards to make it easier to be prepared for the live stream. I'm a First Amendment auditor over here. Lol, my name is Public Tour. Okay, great to hear, my mother. I was watching an auditor video when I got the keys notification. Hey, and you came right over here. Love that, brother. The conviction is strong. I love it. What's up, Andy, brother? You're doing very, very well. Got 11 more Casper today. Love it. Keep stacking that bad, my man. Keep stacking it indeed. Wait. How do you know me on YouTube? Are you subbed? I feel like I've seen you post before. Oh, we got some connections going forward as well. What's up, Magnus Bove? You're doing very, very well, my man. Welcome back to the channel. Do you think the Crypto.com listing will matter, or only Binance Coinbase listing will be at this point? I think all listings matter. If you're looking for significant price rally in a short time frame, then yes, Binance and Coinbase will be the ones that really, really matter, because they're the biggest two exchanges. But all tier ones matter. All tier ones matter. The more, the merrier. And, you know, Kraken caused this. Was here? No, it wasn't here. Kraken was this. The confirmation of the Kraken listing happened here. That was the Kraken listing. This here was FOMO. For the KEF announced here that Kraken's about to list, you know, this month, and then Kraken announced it 3 days afterwards here. This was FOMO from the job report data and FOMC meeting stuff coming up. So Kraken did cause a 50% rally. And that was at a higher price of, you know, 10 cents. The price is down you know, not, I guess it's almost there right now, I guess. But if Crypto.com, which is similar to Kraken in that regard, listed, you may see Casper therefore rally up, you know, to sort of similar highs. Where I started here, 12 went up to 18, so maybe see Casper start running up to 15 cents as a result. And that with how bad Casper's been so far, seeing a tier 1 listing would reignite confidence for the community and what's coming out, and the price action more so as well. And that could also incentivize the other tier 1s to follow in suit as well. So, long story short, I think it'd be a good thing. But if you're wanting massive rallies in value in a short time frame, then of course the ones that really matter are Binance and Coinbase, and arguably OKX as well. They're the 3 biggest exchanges by quite a ways, or 3 most trusted exchanges in their specific regions. Okay, well, there you go. There you go, Cryptony brother. You got another subscriber. You're welcome. What's up, Go-To Man? Hope you're doing very, very well. And you too, Devious Me brother. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you have a very good day so far. Boomer J messed up the buttons. Hey, honestly, I on this computer every single day, and yet I still mess up with tech. I'm terrible with it, actually. And as I see someone in my community saying right now, why would they create a page for the listing? It makes no sense. I agree. You know, it is weird why they create a page about how to buy it without actually listing the project. It does sound weird, but maybe they're just doing it in advance to prepare for it. I don't know. It is very, very weird. But you can't deny that it's there, and you can't deny that it's been created yesterday. Whether it's by a mistake. Maybe I mean, again, remember OKX did the same thing and then removed the page. So maybe all these exchanges have those pages ready, but they're just waiting to actually list the project to actually do it, and therefore Crypto.com's about to list the Casper spot or something like that. Again, I don't know, but you can't deny that they have got the page there, so they are, you know, showcasing how to buy Casper on the platform. What's up, Greg Boy? You're doing very, very well. I had to sell a little, so we probably are going to pump. Well, actually, right now, Casper's the only asset really that is looking green today. So maybe you are the reason Casper's currently up 1% right now, valued at 9.1 cents. So maybe it is you. Hope you're doing very, very well today, brother. So you had to sell, but again, we'll see more coming very, very soon. I got a Lambo anyways. I took out a loan for it. Casper will defo pump, right? Got 0 down to my mind. Casper will inevitably start pumping in the cycle. Welcome back, Falcon Man, who's doing very, very well. I still don't understand why this time is different, why there is no alts in the bull market, because we got Bitcoin dominance at all-time high. It's no different. Look at all the other. There's no different. Right now, it's more severe, but it's not different. If you were in this time last cycle, you know, May last cycle, you go all the way back. We're looking at here. No, that's not back there. It's here. Sorry. May last cycle's, you know, down here. We saw a massive. We saw May, this is what we saw in May. And alts weren't pumping then. Go and look at Solana. Solana around May time, in regards to market cap, was not doing anything. May is around here. It did have a pump, but then it started coming down with the, you know, the correction. So, you know, Bitcoin dominance is very, very high right now, and institutions are only able to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're not looking at alts right now, and most of the capital is from institutions right now. But don't get me wrong, the alt cycle's hard, but we are still going to get an alt cycle. Like this, it's just right now the Bitcoin dominance is extremely high. You can see here, Bitcoin dominance is extremely high right now. What have I done? Why is my... There you go. Okay. There, 65.34% is still running up higher and higher and higher. Bitcoin dominance is extremely high right now. It's almost reaching the peaks it did in the last cycle. It's still going up higher. That's why the alts aren't rallying right now. They will. It's just, again, Bitcoin dominance is high, so alts aren't going to rally because alts are not the focus right now. It's all in Bitcoin. But alts are what they... We've heard already confirmation in the last stream. The banks want alts to rally, but it's not in it right now. It's still... This cycle's different massively, but it's not... The fundamental aspect of alts not rallying and having no bull market is still going to happen. How and when, don't know, but it's still going to happen. It's just it might take a bit more... Might take a bit longer. That's all. The only reason I want Coinbase to list is because I'm lazy. Oh yeah, but that's the thing exactly. The reason why Coinbase and Binance are great is not because necessarily they're the best exchanges to use, because I actually like, crypto.com more so actually, or Kraken more so actually. But it's because they're the biggest exchanges, and a lot of people, and it's not again by any means a dig at anybody, but people just like the simplicity and the just using the big exchanges. It's like, oh yeah, they're big, they're trustworthy, I'm just going to use them, that's it. A lot of the people who come into crypto for the first time will only look at Coinbase or only look at Binance. Once you get more involved, then you might start diverting into the other chains, the smaller chains, that might have other benefits that you don't get on the big ones. Like maybe they don't list the asset you want, like Casper. Most of us have to go through other exchanges because they haven't got it on Binance or Coinbase. So it's having it on Binance and Coinbase also allows for new user-friendly access to Casper. So it's also a very big deal. And you get those this cycle again. For me, it's inevitable, and this is again a sign again of another tier one that showcased first signs of one scoop up Casper being crypto.com. So hopefully that'll translate to a listing soon. We'll have to wait and see. But again, it is weird why they have listed and not said anything about it properly yet as well. It is now approaching past. I'm expecting to see an announcement soon regarding the FOMC meeting. I'm checking my sources right now. I've not heard anything right now. So it looks like Federal Reserve says the risks of high unemployment and high inflation has risen. Okay, so it looks like the Fed are stating that higher unemployment and high inflation is risen. So that means that's a bit of a... Well, that's not great at all, actually, if that's the case, because that means that higher unemployment means they've got to start cutting rates, but high inflation means they can't really cut rates. So they're kind of stuck. So we'll have to see exactly what Jerome Powell announces. He's going to be doing this in about 5 minutes or so. But right now it looks like, again, Jerome Powell is saying that we're kind of still screwed and he's not going to be able to do anything just yet. But again, as I know, I think it's Greg that highlights, just check the tie color. The tie color tells us what it's going to do. What's up, John Otako Outdoors? Brother, I'm doing very, very well. Welcome back to the channel. There are too many rubbish coins. I mean, that's also true as well. There's more coins in this cycle than any other cycle beforehand that's also stealing liquidity from these markets. I mean, think about Trump's coin, for example. Trump's coin, stole a lot of the liquidity out of altcoins. You saw Casper went down 20% at the launch of Trump's coin, right here. And then it came down a total of 50% over that time frame of the 2 weeks. Altcoins are stealing liquidity out of the markets, and they're just, again, not all of them have great utility. You'll see the real ones survive later on. Casper will end up stealing all the market cap back, I'm sure, but it's just going to take a bit of time. I smash the button. I smashed it twice. Actually, should Crypto go through. Sorry, brother. Yes, thank you very much. And as you enjoy the content, as always, please leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more, because we are early and we are going to be here every day. We'll be here when the listings come through, and we'll hopefully see crypto.com list a project soon with them leaking how to buy Casper already. With that being said, we're going to the next part of the content. We're going to get into, ultimately here from Crypto Casper Guru. Casper is now fast in Solana, Cardano, and XRP all combined as a proof of work consensus. Was a very, very big deal, and we'll end up inevitably seeing other people follow in suit when Casper gets smart contract, everything else as well. It is so fast, it is superior in that regard. And as Coda Stuff highlights here, with 10 bps solo mining variance is significantly reduced, not eliminated. But there will be some days where you mine more or less than the expected number of blocks, but the expected rewards over the long period of time is much closer to the pool rewards. So ultimately you get more benefits in a sense of participating in solo mining to participate in decentralization. And we're seeing something as well in regards to the speed of Casper now. Casper, when layer 2s come through with swap tokens, it takes 3 seconds, and Ethereum it takes 45, which is 15 times longer. And I highlight that because we'll be playing this video here from the Altcoin Daily, where he is showcasing the biggest upgrade for Ethereum that's happened in recent history, releasing the Pectra, which is big for institutional adoption, but again, for me, it's beating a dead horse or trying to put makeup on an animal. Like it might make it look better, but it's fundamentally it's not going to do anything in the long run. And again, it seems like for me, Ethereum are threatened to be left out of the set. And again, announcing it's so soon after Crescendo, maybe they're threatened about Casper as well. So this is very closely to this explanation from Onquin Daily about this big upgrade. We'll call it back to Casper once again in a moment. So listen very closely.
Ethereum. But the biggest upgrade for Ethereum in years is happening if you hold Ethereum. This affects you. Ethereum set for major overhaul with Pectra upgrade on May 7th. And in layman's terms, this is good for Ethereum. This will update scalability, efficiency, user experience. But the two specific things that will change, a centerpiece of the Pectra upgrade is EIP 7702, an important step towards account abstraction. So this is what improves user experience. This proposal enables external owned accounts, EOAs, to function more like smart contracts, unlocking features such as transaction batching, gas fee sponsorship, which allows users to pay gas in tokens other than Ethereum, and more flexible account recovery mechanisms. So account abstraction is huge for user experience, very much needed. This is something similar to what other ETH competitors like Solana, like Supra, like Sui already have something like this. So it's good Ethereum is catching up. These enhancements are expected to make Ethereum wallets far more user-friendly, reducing friction for both new and experienced users. And then the second big upgrade out of two is EIP 7251. It raises the staking limit for validators from 32 ETH to now 2,048 Ethereum. This reform is particularly beneficial for institutional participants and large-scale stakers, allowing them to operate more efficiently by reducing the number of validator nodes they need to manage. So right now, if an institutional player like BlackRock, for example, wanted to stake their Ethereum, they would need to just have many, many different validators, 32 ETH, 32 ETH, 32 ETH, for hundreds of validators. Now they can just have one filled with 2,048 Ethereum. So in a way, this does make Ethereum staking more centralized, yet opens up the floodgates for institutionals to buy, accumulate, and stake. This Ethereum upgrade happens on May 7th. As I get more information, I will keep you updated.
So, well, before we get to that, Cryptoni with the $10 donation, thank you very much, my man. Pectra makes Ethereum even worse and more centralized, further sacrificing security by increasing staking for nodes to 2,032 ETH, meaning you need approximately 3.8 million ETH. Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know, like, it definitely helps for institutional adoption, those who have a lot more capital to be able to afford to have 3.8 million ETH USD, but it does make it more centralized. So it's one of the biggest upgrades to date. Yes, that is evident, but I'm making a video about it, which I'll be releasing later as well. Just ultimately talking about Ethereum are trying so hard to be utilized by institutions to try and catch up, but they're not going to be able to do it. And it's making it so much worse. You're completely right. It's almost laughable. And the fact that it comes out so soon after Crescendo, for me, is like almost like they're admitting defeat. Because again, if you look at what Casper is already 15 times faster than Ethereum with swap stuff, all stuff. It's 150 times faster than Ethereum while being decentralized. Ethereum's going the opposite direction. If they're running a marathon, Ethereum's running backwards. It's terrible. So it is laughable, honestly. I mean, it might get them more adoption from institutions at the beginning stage, but when institutions start using the platform, realize the extortionate gas fees and the slow nature of Ethereum, whatnot, how it's not even scalable, despite them wanting to release Risk 5 later on. Even Risk 5 will make it faster than Casper, and it's definitely going to be set. It's terrible. It is terrible and it's laughable. So it's very, very unfortunate. But I mean, there are some takeaways from that. Again, the institutional element of adoption it'll get, but it's just. I find it coincidental how two significant developments have come out from other faces. The listing here and equally this, just after Crescendo. And this, for me, almost seems like trying to push Casper out by getting more institutional positioning for it. But at the same time, it's just not ideal at all. It's really, really not. If I'm not mistaken, this meeting should have started by now. If I'm not mistaken. It is. Oh, purple tie. Purple tie. Oh, what does purple tie mean? I'm trying to go back into the chat. I see what purple tie is dovish. Is dovish. So apparently, this could be a good thing according to according to Greg. But yeah, I mean, I'll probably come back to it later on. Right now, I mean, we could watch it live, but if you guys want to watch it live, I'll watch it live right now. Otherwise, then we'll be getting more into the content right now. Also, just wanted to highlight again the stuff coming with Casper right now. If the purple tie as a as a psychological thing does mean that it's a more of a dovish statement, therefore higher chance of the market start to make a recovery and a rally, which will be very, very good, and therefore seeing Casper hopefully trade upwards. Still probably trading in this wedge here, but it means higher chance of a breakout upwards as opposed to breakout downwards, especially if Crypto.com does list Casper as well. It could be reassuring, and I'm sure you'll see other stuff coming up very soon as well. But thank you very much again, Tony, for the $10 donation, my man. Hope you're doing very well again. What's up, Janet, my man? Sup to you too. Having a great day so far, I hope. What the hell's happening right now? Yeah, it's crazy. Statement released by at 2 and leaning hawkish. I imagine Powell will either come out slightly hawkish or mixed. So I would suspect we'll see a nice correction for entry and a sideways chop till CPI. That's what I'd expect as well. That's what I was expecting. Markets seem to be now making a rally, and maybe it's because they're taking this tie thing all too literally. But from what I've seen from my source as well on the screen, it's saying, of course, there'll be no changes to interest rates. Interest rates would be expected, of course, no change to interest rates. And, that's based on the fact that there's a higher risk, there's a higher unemployment and higher risk of higher unemployment and risk of higher inflation as well, which have risen. So, again, I'm hoping it'll be maybe a little bit, again, a mix of hawkish and dovish, and then kind of bleeding into the CPI data next week, and then we'll start seeing the markets go through a reversal. Unemployment is fine. He's playing politics. The non-farm payroll was 50k above expectations again. I mean, yeah, he's stating unemployment is doing terribly, but we've seen the data. The non-farm payroll is doing fine. So inflation, sure. Ultimately, what he's announced seemingly is inflation is rising, which it probably will, and the unemployment is rising, which is not. At least seemingly it's not, because non-farm payroll is actually, showcase that we're getting more jobs coming through than expected. So what will be important is to see the CPI data. If the CPI data coming out in 6 days' time ends up not being as bad as we expect, or even good, then that will be a very, very big indicator that he's going to have to start cutting rates, or he might start deciding to cut rates in due time as well. It's not $5 yet. I'm not stopping smoking. Hey, well, hopefully he does that tomorrow then, because you've got to stop smoking, man. It's not good. 2048 lol. I mean, yeah, it is having 2048 Ethereum just to, it's just terrible. Like, for you to be able to stake a node is terrible. You're becoming even more centralized. If you have a lot of money and capital, you can use it. Otherwise, then you're screwed. It's just not good at all. Can you not stake at all? Yeah, no, you can't. Seemingly from this announcement, which again is better for institutionalized use cases, which is better for their business model, I guess, but you can't do it. You can see right here. It's like, it rises the staking limit for validator from 32 to 2048 Ethereum. So, yeah, it's just done for. It's terrible. So yeah, that hopefully you'll see a lot of people therefore get frustrated with Ethereum in that regard, and then we'll see people start to migrate when Ethereum rollouts come on Casper to Casper as well. Ethereum tools coming to Casper very soon, probably within the next month or two. We'll see a lot of transitioning happening as well. Yes, the meeting. It's already the meeting. Okay. Purple tie is dovish. Let's listen. Okay, let's listen to the meeting then. I'll play it right now. When it actually wants to play.
Steve.
Okay.
Steve Leisman, CNBC. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for taking my question. A lot has happened since the last meeting. There's been tariffs put on, tariffs taken off, and meanwhile, there's a bill advancing in Congress. And I just wonder if I could press you on the last part of your statement. Are you any closer now to deciding which side of the mandate is going to need urgent care first?
Well, So as we noted in our statement, post-meeting statement, we've judged that the risks to higher employment and higher inflation have both risen. And this, by the way, of course, is compared to March. So that's what we can say. I don't think we can say, which way this will shake out. I think there's a great deal of uncertainty about, for example, where tariff policies are going to settle out, and also when they do settle out, what will be the implications for the economy, for growth, and for employment. I think it's too early to know that. So, I mean, ultimately, we think our policy rate is in a good place to stay as we await further clarity on tariffs and ultimately their implications for the economy.
Hearing you describe
So
what
it
you're
looks
looking
like
for in terms
you
of being
still
able to make
say
a
I'm going to wait on the
decision,
sidelines.
it
That's
sounds
just, I don't know what the stream is so terrible. Let me see if I can find
that's
this
a
stream real
long-term
quickly. I'll try and
process
find
before
this.
you sound like you're going to be.
Try and find this, because the stream is doing terribly right now.
Solid. Inflation
Okay,
is
that'll be
running
better. Hopefully
just
it's
a bit
better now.
above 2%. So it's an economy that's been resilient and is in good shape. And our policy is sort of modestly or moderately restrictive. It's 100 basis points less restrictive than it was last fall. And so we think that leaves us in a good place to wait and see. We don't think we need to be in a hurry. We think we can be patient. We're going to be watching the data. The data may move quickly or slowly, but we do think we're in a good position where we are to let things evolve and become clearer in terms of what should be the monetary policy response.
Nick.
Okay, so, I mean, purple tie dovish, which we can be happy about, I guess, but he's still playing the wait-and-see approach, which is just very, like, I don't know what he's waiting for, because unemployment is down, it's up.
Differences, energy costs are down, housing imbalances look nothing like they did 4 years ago, labor demand appears to be gradually cooling with wage growth running below 4%. What do you see right now that could nourish higher inflation beyond a rise in goods prices this year?
I think the underlying inflation picture is good. It's what you see, which is inflation now running a bit above 2%. And we've had basically decent readings in housing services and non-housing services, which is a big part of it. So that part, I think, is moving along well. But there's just so much that we don't know. I think, and we're in a good position to wait and see, is the thing. We don't have to be in a hurry. The economy has been resilient and is doing fairly well. Our policy is well positioned. The costs of waiting to see further are fairly low, we think. So that's what we're doing. And, we'll see. The administration is entering into negotiations with many countries over tariffs. We'll know more with each week and month that goes by where tariffs are going to land, and we'll know what the effects will be when we start to see those things. So we think we'll be learning. I can't tell you how long it will take, but for now it does seem like it's a fairly clear decision for us to wait and see and watch.
So when you say that you don't need to be in a hurry, does that mean that could the outlook change in such a way that a change in your stance could be warranted as soon as your next meeting?
As I said, we are comfortable with our policy stance. We think we're in the right place to wait and see how things evolve. We don't feel like we need to be in a hurry. We feel like it's appropriate to be patient.
Oh yeah, yes,
and
100%.
When things develop, of course, we have a record of we can move quickly when that's appropriate. But we think right now the appropriate thing to do is to wait and see how things evolve. There's so much uncertainty. If you talk to businesses or market participants or forecasters, everyone is just waiting to see how developments play out. And then we'll be able to make a better assessment.
But the European Central Bank are cutting rates right now, though.
Monetary policy is, so we're not in that place. And as that develops, and I can't really give you a time frame on that.
Oh my days. The European Central Bank is cutting rates right now.
Janelle Marte with Bloomberg. So many economists have been pricing in higher odds of a recession, and several are noting that it is more difficult for the Fed to cut rates preemptively given the higher risks for higher inflation. So given the outlook, do you still see a path for a soft landing, and what does that look like?
Well, let me say, I mean, so let's look back and see where we are. So go through 2024 up to the day. We've had unemployment in the low 4s for more than a year. We've had inflation coming down now in the mid to low 2s. We've had an economy growing at 2.5%. So that is the economy as we see it now. What looks likely, given the scope and scale of the tariffs, is that we will see certainly the risks to higher inflation, higher unemployment have increased. And if that's what we do see, if the tariffs are ultimately put in place at those levels, which we don't know, then we won't see further progress toward our goals. But we might see a delay in that. I think in our thinking, we would never do anything but keep achieving those goals.
Higher
But
unemployment?
at least for the next, let's say, year, we would not be making progress toward those goals. Again, if that's the way the tariffs shake out. The thing is, we don't know that. There's so much uncertainty about the scale, scope, timing, and persistence of the tariffs. So that's that. In terms of preemption, I think you can look back at the 2019 cuts as preemptive. I wouldn't say that what we did last fall was at all preemptive. If anything, it was a little late. But 2019, we did cut 3 times. But the situation was you had a weakening economy and you had inflation at 1.6%. So that's a situation where you can move preemptively. Now we have inflation running above target. It has been above target for 4 years. It's not so far above target now. And we have an expectation, conditional on what happens, that we'll see upward pressure on inflation. If you look at where forecasters are, they're all forecasting an increase in inflation. So it makes it, and then we've also got forecasts of weakening in the economy, and some have recession forecasts. We don't publish a forecast about that. We don't publish a forecast that assesses how likely a recession is. But in any case, it's not a situation where we can be preemptive because we actually don't know what the right response to the data will be until we see more data.
Okay, well, I don't know about you lot, but I think I've heard enough. So, long story short, Jerome Powell's like, yeah, so we're going to play the wait and see approach. We don't know how tariffs are going to reflect inflation, and we're just going to wait and see what happens. We're normally too late, but we don't mind being too late again because things aren't looking too bad. Jobs are, unemployment rising up high, which is actually just incorrect. So I don't know where he's getting that data from because unemployment is actually, it's staying stagnant with 4.2% unemployment. That's because the government jobs are decreasing while the jobs in the economy actually are doing better. And we saw almost 50,000 more jobs added last quarter, and we saw 80,000 jobs added the quarter before that, and the last month, sorry. So we saw 50k jobs almost last month in April added, and then in March we saw 80,000 added as well, more than expected. So we're actually seeing, look, federal government employment declined by 9,000, but we saw a massive increase in stuff like healthcare, transportation, financial. The parts that actually matter. So, I do not know. I don't know exactly. I mean, I guess he can afford to play the wait and see approach. I mean, he is right now, but he's saying I think a lot of it is partly him playing politics because the unemployment thing's incorrect. He's saying a lot of people are just playing the wait and see approach. That's incorrect as well because the European Central Bank are cutting rates right now. The European Central Bank have 2.25% lower interest rates than America right now. So America are behind by 2.25%. Now they can cut policies very, very quickly. But what this basically means to me is that 13th of May, which is on Tuesday, so Tuesday coming, will be an integrally important day because depending on that data, that could very much determine if Jerome Powell is going to start cutting rates the following FOMC meeting, which is in mid-June. Because he's basically just saying, as always, we're waiting for the inflation stuff. We don't know until we get the data. So if that data comes back and it's actually positive, the first time since tariffs have come into effect, the following data will hopefully be going down as well. There'll be no reason, therefore, for him to keep playing the wait and see approach. It's actually almost a shame that, but I don't even know. I actually just don't know what to say to that. Well, I've said it already, but This is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, so it's proven otherwise that like unemployment's actually doing. I mean, it's still highish, but it's doing better. It's not rising. Unemployment's not rising. So yeah, Donald Trump's gonna be very, very angry. Can't wait to see him post on Truth Social. Oh yeah, this Mr. Too Late is too late again. Hate him. They can't fire him though. The Fed and the government are independent from each other. But that is yeah, that is. It's a shame as well. He's wearing a purple tie, man. That's meant to be dovish. It was a mix of dovish and hawkish again, because he was basically just saying, you know, we can react quickly, but we need to see the data first. The data for me is already, like, a lot of it, enough is already out. We want to see the data for the tariff stuff, so that'll come out on the 13th, and that would be what he cares about. Oh yeah, that's frustrating. The markets are. I mean, to be fair, they're not reacting too badly to that news right now. They are starting to come back a little bit right now. So we might see potentially Casper break below this wedge and therefore start pushing towards 8 cents. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm still optimistic that going into latter half of May, into June, we'll start seeing the markets go up again. Casper in particular as well, with their announcements as well. Oh, what you doing to me? I'm 20 minutes in the past. I will haunt you. Oh, sorry to hear, DC, my man. I did announce it in my community, but I will try and make an effort to, as Tony said, to try and announce schedule going live half an hour before on YouTube as well, so people can at least get prepared for it. Actually, 42 DC, the stream went haywire midway. Okay, so it weren't just me. Gotta say that was constantly crashing. That was constantly going down. But at least that works there. Although again, it's just typical. Typical. People are not happy. I don't understand what he's waiting for either, truth be told. This sucks. Yeah, it is. I mean, again, it sucks, but like we've kind of been anticipating it. You know, we weren't expecting rate cuts. Didn't happen. I guess we're most just kind of waiting for the reason of why he's not moving right now, which is he's not moving because we don't need to move right now. You know, he I don't want to say he's lying, but like he is in a sense, because him stating that unemployment is rising is factually incorrect. Him stating that everybody else is waiting is also factually incorrect. The European Central Bank is continuously cutting rates, despite the tariffs. So, I don't know exactly what he's playing at. It's a bit frustrating. I hope Trump fires him. I mean, if he could, he would have done already, but I don't think he could do it right now. I told you playing politics, yeah. Yeah, very frustrating. Very frustrating seeing some of the dumb stuff you lot came up with 20 minutes ago. What did we say 27 minutes ago? I have no idea. Trump needs to let him cook for a minute though. The longer we wait, the better the position we will have on the world stage. The dollar dominance is about to destroy all the other currencies. I mean, with stablecoins coming out and stablecoins being highly denominated in dollars, that will definitely see the value of the dollar again. It won't be the typical dollar though. It'll be a dollar. It'll be stablecoin dollar as opposed to that. So it'll still be crypto. But I mean, yeah, it's frustrating, but just to reiterate, for those who may be getting a bit bearish on that, we don't need rate cuts. In Trump's first term, one of the best crypto cycles, 2017, we do not have any rate cuts or any QE back here. We do not have that, so we don't need it. Of course, it'd be nice and help out more so, but because of the weakening of the dollar, the DYX, that has allowed policies without ruining their exchange rate. So that's why the M2 supply is already very high, and in fact the M2 supply is making another all-time high again, as we can see. So that is actually really good, and Bitcoin therefore should start following, in suit. You'll see it made another all-time high again. So if the Fed starts cutting rates, the M2 goes a lot higher. But otherwise, then the DYX is already really low, allowing the other countries to loosen their monetary policies, therefore allowing for the M2 to go higher. So we can even see here, China. My PC wants to load. China here, their central bank has cut rates and injected 1 trillion yuan. So they're still printing more and more money, which is good to see. Which is very, very good to see. So Jerome Powell says we won't make progress on goals this year if tariffs stay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's definitely playing politics then. He basically just said if tariffs stay in play, we're not going to do anything. So, yeah, that's fun. That's very, very fun. Oh, what a time. I mean, again, we don't need them. The M2's already high, so we don't need them. The thing, I want to, again, reiterate again, we don't need the Fed to cut rates to be nice. We don't need it. The M2's already going up because the devaluation of the dollar allowed other countries to print money as well. But of course, America doing it would be better. So I have to see how it goes from here. Apparently, Trump's meant to be making a big announcement soon as well. Exactly on what, I don't know. I think it might be something to do with the Middle East. Maybe a Saudi Arabia deal. But that will be interesting to hear as well. We'll see how it pans out very soon as well. The Puppet Master pulled the strings and the game continues. Yeah, this game is absolutely brilliant. You need to understand other currencies are debasing and deflating against the dollar as we hold strong, and they don't get stronger, and they don't. We get stronger, stronger, and stronger. If you don't know how inflation and debasement works, just say so. I mean, yeah, it's an interesting time, right? Ultimately, yes, with the dollar that had but again, it weakened so much since Trump took over, which was by design, seemingly. It allowed America to take out lower yield, refinance that lower yield, but also allowed other countries to loosen their monetary policy, stopped issuing QE as well. That's why the M2 is so high. And if the dollar starts strengthening as well, that'll ruin their exchange rate. So, you know, that could therefore strengthen the dollar as well. But yeah. You still think you got? I don't think any of us in control at all. But I don't think we're in a crisis right now. Like even like the fact of the matter is, if for whatever reason somehow we end up going towards a second negative GDP quarter, meaning recession, Jerome Powell will step in. His whole role as the chairman of the Federal Reserve is to avoid recession, and he's not cut any rates yet. So while he's still playing the wait and see approach, is very frustrating, he will step in before it gets too disastrous. So we are fine. It's frustrating, but we are fine. We are perfectly fine. And again, Casper is, you know, with all that's coming out for it, also going to be perfectly fine with all of their big announcements. You know, again, potential listing coming very, very soon. With Ethereum, again, kind of shooting themselves on the foot, making themselves more utilised for institutions, but worse for retail, and that may ruin their use case as well. And you see a lot of people then switching to Casper or other infrastructure. Therefore, you got the stablecoin bills and stuff coming out soon enough as well. Still a lot of, you know, back and forth going on. You know, the House and the Financial Committee were just talking and debating on the market structure legislation yesterday, but you did have certain people, politicians like Maxine Waters, objecting and just walking straight out. So there's still a lot of, you know, tiff and taff going back and forth between the two parties, claiming that, you know, it's Trump's crypto corruption. But that's the thing. I mean, you can argue whether Trump's doing it corrupt or not, but crypto as a fundamental asset class, it is not like, it's not a Democrat versus Republican thing. Crypto is just the future of finance, so everyone should be on board with that. Truth be told, at least in my opinion, but either way, they're talking about it now, so that is somewhat reassuring to see. And again, we're seeing more and more countries print, which is good to see as well. So, I mean, ultimately, I'm not really too much bothered by that. I was expecting the FOMC meeting to be something like that. We will just have to see. Again, Tuesday coming, CPI will be very, very important. That will determine Jerome Powell's attitude to the next meeting as well. What's the synopsis for today, Jay? What's up, John Doe, man? I've been doing very, very well. Ultimately, the synopsis is Crypto.com apparently are gearing up for a Casper listing by announcing on their website how to buy Casper. And you can fact check when the website went live with Wayback Machine, which showcases that their website went live yesterday. We are seeing, again, more developments for Casper as well. You know, it's not actually on Crypto.com just yet, but despite them saying it is, but they seem to be gearing up for it, which is really good to see. Tier 1's coming through, interest is rising right now. Of course, Casper is now faster than everything else because of its 10 BPS. And just seeing the speed of Casper as well, 3 seconds as comparison to Solana's 45 seconds to swap. Ethereum went through a big upgrade, one of the biggest ones to date, but it actually is just making them more centralized. So it's kind of a shooting itself in the foot type thing. It'll mean they're better for institutional participation, but it's raising the staking limits for validators from 32 ETH to 2,048 ETH, which is just terrible. The FOMC meeting, while his tile's purple, therefore meant to mean that it is dovish, he was ultimately a bit mixed. I'd argue maybe a bit more hawkish, just saying we're going to wait and see. Stating a lot of stuff like, again, that inflation's going up, which we won't know. Right now, inflation's been going down. We'll have to wait and see how the tariffs react to Tuesday's data, see if it's actually going up or not. He also said unemployment is going up, which is incorrect, because actually it's been going down. And he also said that other countries are waiting to see how tariffs are going to react before they start cutting rates, also incorrect. The European Central Bank has been cutting rates as well, so it looks like Jerome Powell is just playing politics and just playing the wait-and-see approach because he thinks he can, which he can. Again, we don't need the rate cuts, but it would be nice. I'm sure we'll get some in the latter half. Maybe probably starting in the second half of the year, starting in July time. But we'll have to wait and see. It will depend heavily on the incoming CPI data, on how Jerome Powell's going to react. And I'm still optimistic, though, that going into the end of May, following the M2 supply of Bitcoin and whatnot, we'll start seeing Bitcoin and crypto start to make this push up going into end of May into June. And now, therefore, like Casper rally as well, you might see, therefore, tier ones like Crypto.com, like Binance, or whoever Wallet 2 is, list Casper as well when it loads up, with 725 million Casper. So, again, for me, nothing's fundamentally changed. It would be nice to see something like that rate cuts this time, but I'm sure if you look at the CPE watch, which lets you know the inflation, FOMC watch, CME watch, CME Fed watch. After that data, which obviously we've got no rate cuts this time round, the next one's 41 days time. It'll probably show us that the inflation the chance of rate cuts have gone down again. Yeah, it's gone down again. That was around 30%. Now it's at 24%. So we'll probably not get rate cuts for a bit. July, people are still a bit more optimistic we'll get some in July. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see ultimately. But with that being said, I think that will conclude today's... Well, my internet's been terrible today. I'm just seeing my connections at 2... That's terrible. Okay, I might need to restart my PC or something. With that being said, that will conclude today's Daily Casper and Crypto live stream. Welcome back everyone who are joining right now, and if you're watching on playback, then hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. Ultimately, things are, again, seemingly just going a little bit... Just consolidating again, nothing really happening in the markets today. Casper's still trading in between this wedge right now, forming this bullish flag. We'll see a breakout, whether it be below or up, we'll have to wait and see, but fundamentally nothing's really changed right now. We'll have to pay attention to the next important macro developments coming out next week, so stay tuned for that. Crypto.com announcing Casper or saying how to buy Casper is reassuring. We'll see when it actually pans out into a listing. Time will tell. If you enjoyed, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. If you want to know more about crypto and Casper, check out the free Discord server, link down below in the description, and also on my homepage as well. If you want to be even more locked in, maximize the benefits of crypto, learning how to trade, educational content, alpha information, and much more. Got the VIP group here as well. You can join for a 7-day free trial. Also down below in the description as well on my homepage. Have a great day, good evening, good night. I'm going to go and watch the Arsenal PSG game. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take care now.